Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our 24th annual California Wrestling Hall of Fame banquet. I'm honored and blessed to be your MC and Master of Ceremonies for tonight's event. It is sometimes difficult to believe that the first Hall of Fame induction banquet took place on May 27th in the year 2000. California Wrestling Hall of Fame has inducted 437 individuals into Hall of Fame. This evening is our 24th banquet, and we'll add 23 more individuals into the class of 2025. And for those of you that don't know, here's a little history of the California Wrestling Hall of Fame banquet with our previous locations. Our first two inductions banquets were held in Concord, California. Then it moved to the San Jose area for the next 3 years. Following those years in San Jose, banquet moved to Fresno. Then in 2007 and 2008, the banquet moved further to Southern California here at Laguna Hills. In 2009 and 10, they moved all the way back across the state, back to Sacramento, and it went to San Jose, and it went to Bakersfield. And now here we are in Laguna Hills for our 6th trip. And as you've listened, we've rotated all across the state of California. And that is partly due to Mr. Len Dyke. Since day one, Len Dyke, our former California Wrestling Hall of Fame and director, has wanted to rotate the banquet throughout the state, and it only makes sense to recognize individuals in the area in which they live. In this way, their friends and family have a better opportunity to attend the banquet, and we thank Len for his most generous concerns of our inductees to share this moment. Let's give Mr. Len Dyke a round of applause. And Len, if I may share, Len will be celebrating his 87th birthday next week. Len is also the oldest retired Cal Poly wrestler that's dating back to 1954. And here's the most impressive accomplishment that Len has with it. Len has been involved with wrestling for 75 years. Let's give him a round of applause. And now I'd like to ask Mr. Len Dyke to please come forward as he'll be presenting our Len Dyke Legacy Award. And also at this time, I'd also like to have Mr. Ryan Dalen and Sue Dalen to please come to the stage as we'll be having our Legacy Award presented by Mr. Len Dyke.
I am highly honored to recognize a dear friend who recently passed, Mr. John Dalen. If you read his bio there, it's quite impressive. He and his son, Ryan, climbed the 7 major peaks in the world, including Mount Everest. Just a little side hobby. John was the president of the Southern CIF, and he was a historian for the entire Southern section. And he maintained outstanding records throughout. It was just amazing the information that he had. He was a Hall of Fame inductee, and he just did so much for wrestling. Just an outstanding individual. And I had a lot of opportunities to meet and sit with John at the state tournament, and it was always a pleasure, and I really appreciate knowing him, having known him. One little story that I want to tell about John, back in about 1970, he came up to San Jose to the state tournament at Independence High School, and he brought a wrestler, and we weighed in from 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Well, his wrestler was the last kid to make weight. He couldn't make weight. He was 4 pounds overweight. So John says, you get your sweats on and get running. I'll see you in an hour. He came back and he lost 1 pound. So now he's got a little more to lose. So he says, get going again. And he did that twice. And finally he says, okay, now you got a half an hour. We stop at 5 o'clock. You've got to make weight, so get going. So the kid just came in, looked exhausted. And incidentally, he ended up taking 3rd in the state. But he was just about a quarter of a pound over, and it was 2 minutes to go. So I says, okay, now here's what I want you to do. I want you to strip down naked, and I want you to stand on your head, which he did. Stand on the head, and I said, now when I tell you to get down, you jump on the scale right away. So he stood on his head for 2 minutes, naked. I says, okay, ready? Get off, get on the scale. And he made it by a quarter of a pound. So, coaches, if you have a little problem, just have him stand naked on the scale, okay? Okay, without further ado, I would like to present to Ryan and Sue the Legacy Award. But first, Ryan, come on over and say a few words.
Thank you, Lynn, for those. I'll just hold this. Thank you for those kind words. That story was clearly before cell phones existed. No one would have a job these days with someone standing on their head naked in a wrestling weight room. But anyway, so glad those were good times back then. I want to we're honored to be here tonight. This is such a special group of the wrestling community getting together. You know, a lot of times when there are wrestling team reunions, people enjoy telling stories, and all of a sudden the number of wins and the number of pins starts to go up, and the losses go down, and by the end of the night, you know, everyone's undefeated. But this is a room where you really are all that good. This is an amazing collection of talent here. I'm honored to be here to accept this award on behalf of my dad and our family, and I know my dad would be so happy to be in this room now, and if he were speaking, he would just start with some quick thank yous. I want to offer those same thank yous. To his wife and my mom, Sue Dalem, who was behind all of his success. Please join me in thanking Sue Dalem for all she did for wrestling. My brother, another part of our family, he's actually competing tonight in the over 50-year-old club basketball championship. I know saying the word basketball in this room is a little dicey. He's a multi-sport athlete, but I know he would love to be here. We want to thank Dwayne Morgan, Anthony Morales for putting this together, and especially Lynn Dyke, that this really special honor is in his name. My dad had such high respect for Lynn. They served on many committees together, and of course are grateful for Lynn starting the state wrestling tournament more than 50 years ago. My dad would also thank all of his Loera wrestlers, and we've got a great table representing back there. He said he learned more from his wrestlers than he thought they learned from him. He was really humble about that, but I know he paid it forward in the ways that he mentored their lives, even served as the officiant for some of their weddings, really had that lifelong connection. It's also fitting Bruce Terry, two-time state champion, will be honored tonight. I know my dad was so proud of his success. For Bruce. And Bruce, like so many Loera wrestlers, were a big part of our family. For my dad, wrestling was a way of life. The lessons that he learned and taught of hard work, self-discipline, resilience, grit, teamwork, a positive attitude were applied in so many other areas. And you heard, he was a distinguished military career, kind of looking for that next challenge to apply those, and he really got into coaching wrestling. And it also applied in so many of our climbing expeditions around the world. He also skied to the North Pole and the South Pole, one of the few people in the world to have done that. And he treated all of those like it was a wrestling match. The planning, the preparation, the mental preparedness, what happens when things get tough. He applied those life lessons that he taught and modeled through wrestling, and continued that all the way through sort of battling illness right to the very end, modeling all of that. So he lived with a sense of purpose. He found what he was really good at and found a way that it was impactful for him, but also had a positive impact on others. And I think that's something that we can all aspire to. So we really appreciate that this is called the Legacy Award. John Dalem left a great legacy in wrestling. On behalf of our family, we're grateful for this, and we hope that we can all carry that and pay it forward to continue with this great sport. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ryan. And Ryan incidentally accompanied his dad on all those peaks climbing, so quite a job. Sue, why don't you come over here for a minute? I'd like to present the award to you. On behalf of the Hall of Fame, I'm proud to present this award, the Legacy Award, to you.
Thank you so much.
Let's take a picture.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give one more round of applause and recognize the late Dr. John Dalo. Once again, one more round of applause for these two fine people here representing their father and late husband, Dr. John Dale. We will now begin with our class of 2025 Lifetime Service Awards. And recipients and presenters, please just try to avoid the middle area as our photographer, Armin Guerrero, is there. We ask you to just enter through the side, but try to avoid the middle so that way he doesn't have to move his tripod stand. Now let's give Mr. Armin Guerrero, our photographer, he's been here with us since day one, our official photographer, a round of applause. Armin? Almost on the wrong page here. Okay, here we go. This evening is our 19th year that we are recognizing some outstanding individuals who received the Lifetime Service Award. The Hall of Fame board members realize that there were many individuals who have been involved in supporting California high school and collegiate wrestling programs. These individuals have given countless hours of time and effort to improve the stature of amateur wrestling in California as coaches, officials, tournament directors, scorekeepers, announcers, USA wrestling leaders, and leaders in their community. These individuals were not necessarily outstanding wrestlers, coaches of state championship teams, or wrestling officials, but more importantly, they have given countless hours of their time and energy to support our wrestling programs, and they should be recognized. We're recognizing 9 individuals this evening to receive the Lifetime Service Award. Their names will be engraved on our special recognition board, just as you viewed just right outside, as our Hall of Fame inductees' names appear. This evening, as I introduce these individuals, I would ask that they come forward along with the individual that they have asked to serve as their presenter to come forward as well. I will introduce each of these individuals following their introduction. Their selected presenter will present the Lifetime Service Award to recipient, and a photograph will be taken. I might also add that because of the anticipated length of this evening's program, these individuals unfortunately will not be given speech due to time. And now for our first recipient. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting our 2025 Lifetime Service Award recipient, Mr. Paul Clemente. And as presenter is former wrestler, Mr. Paul Garcia. Ladies and gentlemen, as Paul makes his way up here, I have to share with you, during each year, I always like to go through our audience and greet our recipients and our inductees and confirm the presenters. I did not see Paul in attendance. I go to Dwayne. Dwayne, I don't see Paul Clemente. We call him. And Paul's response on the phone was, yeah, I'm on my way. I'll be there. So thankfully he's here because he was our first one, as you see. Also, one more quick story about Paul. Paul was included in our Parade of Champions in March, but when we first asked him, he had already set up a trip to go to out of state to visit his brother. And he unfortunately had to say, I have to deny, I can't make it. Then he calls me back and says, you know what, my brother said, go to that Parade of Champions, that's more important. So we appreciate Paul being here as well as the Parade of Champions. Paul Clemente's journey in wrestling began at Mesmer High School in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, before he attended Marquette University in the same city. Wrestling under Coach Barney Hartfinger, he earned 3 varsity letters and was named Most Improved Wrestler in 1973. After graduating with a BS in Speech Sciences in 1976, Paul pursued a master's degree in communicative disorders. While working as a speech therapist at Isla Vista Elementary School in Goleta, California, Paul began assisting with wrestling at Dos Pueblos High School under Mike Hart. In 1978, he was appointed head wrestling coach and speech therapist at Ventura High School, a role he held until 2002. Since then, he has assisted Ventura coaches Mike Cullen and Mike Gotcha. He then went on to become the head coach at Nordhoff High School in Ojai, California, and is still coaching there today as an assistant coach under head coach Carl Fraunhofer. During his tenure as head coach at Ventura High School, Clemente compiled an impressive dual meet record of 283 victories, 71 defeats. He led his team to 11 league championships. Notably, his team made history in 1992 by becoming the first Southern section to win both the CIF Individual and CIF Dual Meet Championships. Clemente earned Tri-Counties Wrestling Association Coach of the Year honors in 1992, 94, and 97. He also played a key role in forming the Tri-Counties Wrestling Association, where he has served president for almost 20 years. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 2025 California Wrestling Hall of Fame Lifetime Service Award, Mr. Paul Clemente, Mr. Paul Garcia. Once again, let's give Mr. Paul Clemente one more round of applause. Just a real quick story, one more for Paul Clemente as he makes himself down. Paul, coaching at Ventura High School, had a really tough champion, Cristobal Gonzalez from Ventura. Had a wrestler Buchanan named Brandon Cash. We wrestled Cristobal Gonzalez in the semis, and Gonzalez practically ripped my kid's arms off in that semifinal match. So. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting our 2025 Lifetime Service Award recipient, Mr. Trevor Kiefer. His presenter is his wife, Ms. Eva Kiefer. And just so everyone in the audience knows, we'll be going in alphabetical order, so at least you know when you are next.
Wrestling Trevor.
Trevor Kiefer has dedicated 29 years to coaching wrestling, beginning his career at Crawford High School before continuing at Valhalla, High Tech High, Chula Vista, and spending over 12 years at Steel Canyon High School. Under his guidance, his athletes have achieved remarkable success, including 3 CIF San Diego Girls Section Team Championships. He established the first USA Wrestling All-Girls Club team in 2000, and he has been serving as the Girls State Regionals ranker in Cedars since 2009. Trevor's coaching accomplishments extend to the international stage, having served as a USA Girls Junior World Team Coach in 2006 and 2007, and the USA Girls University World Team Coach in 2008, leading the team to championships and the 2009 Junior Pan Am Coach with another team championship. He has served as the San Diego Section CI Tournament Director since 2011, the San Diego Section Masters Tournament Director since 2020, and the San Diego Section Girls Section Representative from its inception in the 2008 present. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 2025 California Wrestling Hall of Fame Lifetime Service Award to Mr. Trevor Kiefer, his wife, Mrs. Edith Kiefer. Once again, let's give one more round of applause, Mr. Trevor Kiefer. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting our next 2025 Lifetime Service Award recipient, Mr. Brad Morton. His presenter is his fellow coach and wrestler, Mr. John Phillips. And by the way, I believe that Mr. Brad Morton has 35 in attendance for his supporters. Right on the tape, yes, sir. Brad Morton's wrestling journey began at Miracasa High School, where he trained under the guidance of Hall of Fame coach Jack Fernandez, where Brad became the Miracasa High School first time ever 4-year varsity letterman. Brad went on to place at 4th at the 1974 CIF State Championships. After high school, he continued his wrestling career at El Camino College, wrestling for coach Dave Hanksteller, helping his team win the Junior College JC State Championship. Brad also earned 3rd place at 118 pounds in the state championships. He then transferred to CSU Bakersfield, where he became a 2-time conference champion and contributed to the NC2A Division II National Championship team coached by Joe C. In 1977 and 78, Brad won the California Collegiate State Championships at 126 pounds and was selected as a Southern representative for the prestigious North-South All-Star match. Following this, he moved to Chico State, where he again was chosen for the North-South All-Star match, representing the North. Ultimately, he earned fourth place at the NC2A Division II National Championships and achieved All-American status at 126 pounds. Brad then transitions to a 26-year coaching career. He coached at Pleasant Valley High School, Artesia High School, Miracosta High School, and the Chino Valley Wrestling Club, as well as the Chino High School and Lakeside High School. Brad shared his love of the sport with his sons, Drew, Sean, grandson Travis, and three brothers, Tim, Jeff, and John, all of which were Masters placers. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 2025 California Wrestling Hall of Fame Lifetime Service Award to Mr. Brad Morton, Mr. John Phillips. Also, Brad has just a couple of words to share really quick with his guest.
I just want to thank all my family and friends for being here. We take up 3.5 tables here. I just kept people calling saying, hey, I'd really like to go and be there with you to see that honor. And when I wrestled at Cal State Bakersfield, I was married. I was one of 2 married people on the team. And so my wife of 49 years, Jean, she's been there along for the ride this whole time. So I'd like to thank all the folks that came here today. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Now, I normally don't let Lifetime Service have words, but since you have 35 in attendance, I said, Brad, you deserve that.
Love you, Bradley.
One more round of applause for Mr. Brad Morton. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting our 2025 Lifetime Service Award recipient, Mr. Ron Rogers. The presenter is assistant coach, Mr. Carl Castillo. Ron Rogers began his wrestling journey at Cherry Avenue Middle School in 1981. He then attended and wrestled for Tulare Union High School from 1983 to 1986. After high school, he continued his education at the College of Sequoias and San Diego State University. In 1994, he started his teaching and coaching career at San Pasqual High School in San Diego, where he still serves today. Ron was an assistant coach from 1994 to 2000 and then became head coach in 2001. He was also instrumental in establishing the girls wrestling team at San Pasqual in 2009. He has also played a key role in managing the CIF San Diego section divisional and masters events. And during the 2021 COVID-19 pandemic, Ron contributed significantly to the development of protocols for wrestling practices and competitions. His advocacy efforts led to the successful petition to allow the San Diego section to host divisional championships during the pandemic, making it the only section in the state to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 2025 California Wrestling Hall of Fame Lifetime Service Award, Mr. Ron Rogers, Mr. Carl Castillo. Once again, let's give one more round of applause to Mr. Ron Rogers. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting our 2025 Lifetime Service Award recipient, Mr. John Rosales. His presenter, a former wrestler, as well as current co-head coach from Fountain Valley, Mr. Brad Woodbury. As John and Brad make their way up here, I had the pleasure to meet John this morning in the hotel lobby. And I asked, who's your presenter? He said, oh, it's Brad Woodbury. I said, oh, okay. So then I go up to Brad and I confirm with Brad, Brad, what's your relationship with Coach Rosales? He says, oh, he was my coach, but he was more than that. He said, he was my savior. John Rosales served as the wrestling coach at Fountain Valley High School from 1973 to 1989, where he led the team to multiple league championships. As assistant varsity coach in 1977, he helped the team win the CIF Southern Section title and finished 4th in the state. In 1978, he took over as head coach and immediately made an impact, guiding his team to victory at the prestigious Five Counties tournament. John played a key role in elevating the Five Counties tournament, which became a nationally recognized event, drawing top California high schools and teams from across the United States. In 1985, his team won the CIF 4A Divisional Championship. After leaving Fountain Valley, John took his coaching talents to Rio Hondo College, where he led the team to the 1995 Western State Conference title. In 2001, he was inducted into the Orange County Wrestling Hall of Fame in recognition of his outstanding contributions to the sport. And now here we are in 2025 to recognize him again. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 2025 California Wrestling Hall of Fame Lifetime Service Award to Mr. John Rosales, Mr. Brad Woodbury. One more round of applause for Mr. John Rosales. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting our 2025 Lifetime Service Award recipient, Mr. John Talbot. His presenter is a former wrestler and assistant coach at Mira Mesa High School, Mr. Mark Harrington. John Talbot's wrestling journey began at Royal High School in San Lorenzo, California, under the tutelage of Ed Cryan before continuing at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, where he trained under the guidance of the renowned coach, Vaughn Hitchcock. His coaching career spanned 37 years, starting as an assistant at Brawley High School before moving on to become the head coach at Delano High School in the Central Valley. John then served as assistant coach at Serra High School before taking on the role of head coach at Mira Mesa High School, where he led the team for 26 years. In 1985, John made history by coaching the first female wrestler ever approved by the San Diego Unified School Board to compete in wrestling. Furthering his legacy as a trailblazer in the sport, a dedicated member of the National Wrestling Coaches Association, John remains an active participant. He also serves as the board member for the California Wrestling Hall of Fame, where he was secretary for 10 years. Additionally, John is involved with the Mustang Wrestling Foundation, Cal Poly Wrestling, and has previously held the position of CIF Advisory Board member and Eastern League representative. In 2006, Coach Talbot was inducted to the National Wrestling Hall of Fame for lifetime service. He also published San Diego Wrestling News from 1984 to 1988, serves as assistant tournament director for CIF qualifying tournaments, and played a key role in establishing the San Diego City Tournament, now known as the Willie Jones Memorial City Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 2025 California Wrestling Hall of Fame Lifetime Service Award to Mr. John Talbot, Mr. Mark Harrington. One more round of applause for Mr. John Talbot. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting our 2025 Lifetime Service Award recipient, Mr. Bruce Terry. His presenter is fellow official, Mr. Mike Langle. You know, as I was talking to Bruce earlier, as he makes his way up here, he says, okay, so how does this go? And I shared with him, and he's like, okay, so you're going to say yada, 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 yada. I said, well, there's a lot of good yada, yada, yadas about you, so. Bruce Terry, a standout wrestler from Anaheim, California, competed for Laurel High School from 1976 to 1979. Under the guidance of Hall of Fame coach Mr. Dr. John Dalen, he dominated the 98-pound weight class, earning 2 CIF state championship titles. Known for his exceptional talent, Bruce finished his senior year undefeated with a 45-0 record and earned a spot on the prestigious first Dream Team of the Scholastic Wrestling Team, ranking number 1 in the United States. His state victories included memorable bouts with Tim Vanny, a future 2-time Olympian, and a close overtime victory against Marty Kistler in the 1978 state championship, who later gained national recognition at the University of Iowa. His freshman year in college, Bruce suffered a career-ending knee injury resulting in major knee reconstructive surgery. He continued his college studies during his 12 months of intense rehabilitation. That one-year experience redirected his career path to pursue and complete a Doctor of Chiropractic in 6 years. He became licensed in 1986. Bruce's passion for wrestling never waned, and he transitioned into officiating as a dedicated official and president of the Orange County Wrestling Officials Association. Bruce continues to stay active in the wrestling community today, serving as a mentor and spokesperson for the Orange County Association. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 2025 California Wrestling Hall of Fame Lifetime Service Award to Mr. Bruce Terry. Also, Mr. Martin Langdell presenting. One more round of applause for Dr. Bruce Terry. And Dr. Bruce Terry, how was that? Yada, yada, yada. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting our 2025 Lifetime Service Award recipient, Mr. Marshall Thompson. His presenter is Mr. Larry Landless. Marshall Thompson's wrestling journey began at Mark Keppel High School, where he served as a team captain and earned MVP honors. He continued his wrestling career at Mount San Antonio College, Mount SAC, where he placed 6th in the State Community College Championships. Over the course of his high school and college career, he achieved a competitive record of 113 wins, 44 losses, and 3 draws. Following his time as a wrestler, Marshall embarked on a remarkable 50-year coaching career and is still going into the 2024-25 season. In those 50 years, Marshall was a head coach for 44 of those years. Thompson's coaching accomplishments are extraordinary, with an overall record of 957 wins, 208 losses, and 6 ties, including a girls record of 45-3. His teams won 37 varsity league championships, including 7 girls league championships. His outstanding contributions to the sport have earned him 30 League Coach of the Year awards and 2 Dream Team Coach of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 2025 California Wrestling Hall of Fame Lifetime Service Award to Mr. Marshall Thompson, Mr. Larry Landless. One more round of applause for Mr. Marshall Thompson. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting our 2025 Lifetime Service Award recipient, Mr. Ralph Valle. As Ralph and his daughters make their way up here, Ralph had sent me an email and asking if he could have his 2 daughters be his presenters, and I'd like to share a special accomplishment by both of his daughters. His daughters, Christina and Karina Valle. Christina will graduate on Monday, May 19th, with a master's degree in school psychology from CSULA. And Karina is a 6th grade teacher with a master's degree from Chapman University. Congratulations, ladies. Okay, Ralph, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, good, because I am too, because you're the last one. I'm just teasing. Ralph's a good man. Coach Ralph Valle began his athletic journey as a two-sport student athlete at East Los Angeles College, where he captained the wrestling team and qualified for the state championships. He furthered his wrestling at CSULA, where he was a runner-up in the CCAA, a NC2A Western Regional Qualifier, team captain, and the MVP of the team in the senior year. His impressive collegiate career was complemented by notable achievements, including being crowned the USWF State Championship, winning the AAU Southern Pacific Association Grand Championship, and securing third place at the USA California State Open. Valle transferred his coaching to starting as a head wrestling coach at John Glenn High School, where he led the team for 11 years. During his tenure, he achieved a remarkable 221 dual meet victories, 10 league championships, 4 CIF dual team titles, 3 CIF tournament titles, 3 CIF runner-up finishes, and 2 top 20 state finals finishes. After his success at John Glenn, Coach Valle spent 26 years as a head coach at East Los Angeles College, where his leadership elevated the program to new heights. Under his guidance, ELAC Wrestling earned 3 top 10 finishes at the state tournament, 4 conference runner-up finishes, and third place finish at the Southern California Regional Tournament. Valle has coached 43 individual state place winners, including 2 state champions, 6 state runner-ups, 22 All-Americans, and 6 academic All-Americans. In 2007, Coach Valle's excellence was recognized when he was named Southern California Coach of the Year. In 2014, he was inducted to the National Wrestling Hall of Fame for lifetime service to wrestling, a testament to his dedication of the sport. Ralph also served the wrestling community for 32 years as an official in the South Central Wrestling Officials Association. He served 2 terms as president and 1 term as instructional chairman. Beyond coaching, Valle has been committed academic counselor both at the high school and community college levels. And he currently serves as a tenured counselor at East Los Angeles College, where he continues to positively impact students both in the classroom and on the mat. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the 2025 California Wrestling Hall of Fame Lifetime Service Award to Mr. Ralph Valle, his daughters, Mrs. Christina and Karina Valle. One more round of applause for Mr. Ralph Valle. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have done this before in the past. We're going to take a quick 10-minute break, and we'll come right back just before 8 o'clock, okay? So a quick 10-minute break, and then we'll have our Hall of Fame inductees. So please be in your seats.